Driver Eddie is a ride-sharing driver and YouTuber who has amassed more than 60 million views and 316,000 subscribers on YouTube. From viral videos like surprising Uber riders with a puppy to information to gig workers, Eddie shares his story of starting and growing his YouTube channel. Join us for this exclusive Advertising Week creator interview with Driver Eddie.
How you got started on YouTube, the origin story of Driver Eddie.
You know, it's crazy. I feel like a dinosaur in this space. I'm a millennial. And, you know, I lived in a world before YouTube was even around. I actually remember the first time I came across YouTube was somebody shared a video of a song I liked on Facebook. And I found this site where I was like, whoa, I can literally look up any song that I want to listen to and see the music video. Like, that was the coolest thing in the world. I graduated college in 2010. I had a normal job for about 5 years. And then I got to a point where I was like, hey, you know, if I'm ever going to chase what I want to chase, now's the time to do it. And I've just always loved storytelling, writing especially, movies, that whole world. So I quit my job. I crossed something off my bucket list and wrote my first book. And
wow.
At the end of writing that book, I was like, there was two problems that I faced. One, I had to figure out a way to sell the book. And, you know, me personally, I don't really read a lot of blogs online, but I watched a lot of YouTube. So I was like, I think there's a better chance of building an audience if I started a YouTube channel. At the same time, at the end of writing my first book and quitting my job, I was flat out of money. So I started driving for Uber. Uber wasn't new at the time, but it was like on the newer end.
This is around what year?
2016.
Okay.
Yeah, so at least in Philadelphia, it wasn't brand new, but it was, you know, on the newer side. And back then you can make really good money driving Uber. As I'm driving Uber, I realized that, like, not only was this a way to make ends meet, but I was getting content, you know, and back then, before I was a content creator, I was a normal person. So by getting content, I mean, I was getting good things to talk about at the holiday party. But I noticed that everybody was interested in that. Like, they were asking me, what was the craziest ride I ever had? Have I ever been scared? What's the furthest I've ever had to drive? And naturally, I thought, hey, this could lend itself to become a YouTube channel. There's obviously interest and there's no shortage of content. And that's kind of what got me started in making content for YouTube. And then, you know, just it really made me fall in love with making videos. I made videos across a bunch of variety of topics, but still on the YouTube content, still on the YouTube Uber content grind today.
And then when you started, how long was it before your channel got some real traction?
Oh man, so I think I registered, you know, if there's any fellow creators watching this or people thinking about starting a channel, it's so funny to look back on, because I think if you look at my channel creation, I think it's 2016, but I didn't upload my first video until 2017. I might be getting the numbers mixed up, but basically it was like 6 or 8 months where I created my channel but didn't upload a video because I thought of the most clever name, the Driver Ed Show. My name's Ed, I'm a driver, Driver Ed. And I just had to make the channel immediately because somebody else might steal it. And that's one of those things looking back where it's like, everybody has that, like, I don't know what you call it, paranoia or whatever it is, where it's like, oh my God, if I don't do this, somebody else will. And then you do it. And it's like, you know, the video doesn't get views or nobody gets, in my case, nobody got the joke for, you know, there was like a really good friend of mine. He knew about my channel for like 6 months. And finally one day he was like, oh, I get it. Like driver education, your name's Ed. I was like, yeah, come on. But anyway, I just always find that funny. But yeah, so when I uploaded my first video, let's say it was end of 2016, I did not get traction on my channel until 2000. I mean, a little bit of traction, if we're talking like a couple hundred subscribers, probably like a year.
Okay.
But I didn't realize that I could do this full time until probably 2020. So like 4 years of, like, you know, you're just doing it for the
You're doing it as like a habit as well, where you're like, it's fun, like whatever. It's just keeping you going.
Exactly. For the love of the game, you're doing it. And it's actually, I had another account on TikTok that had to do with, I did videos with my grandmother. And just on this account, even though it was mostly like funny videos with my grandmother, I uploaded clips of a video of mine puppy in the Uber. It's one of my most popular videos.
That's a classic.
But what's crazy to me, and again, like, you know, I don't know how many aspiring creators or fellow creators are watching this, and I always go back to this. That video, Puppy in the Uber, sat on my YouTube for 2 years, and it got less than, I think, 1,000 views. I can look at the analytics, but I'm pretty sure it was less than 1,000 views for 2 years. I uploaded a clip to TikTok just said like more on YouTube, and people went from TikTok to see the full video on YouTube, and it got picked up in the algorithm. And since then it's gotten like, I think it's over 7 million the last I saw, but even more, like other companies reshare it, people clip it. It, you know, went viral on Facebook so many times. Like in total, I'm easily estimating in total, I'm sure in total, I'm sure that video easily has over 100 million views across all platforms. And it's just always so interesting to me, because if you looked at the views after the first 2 years, people might say, if you're going by vanity metrics, oh, that's a crappy video, it's only got 200 views. But it's literally the same exact video. I didn't change anything other than the algorithm picked it up. So it's something I always try to remember, like, don't fall into those vanity metrics, because it doesn't always carry over to quality.